you're going to play the even and odd card game. The first thing that you need to do is make sure that you take out all of the face cards. Those are the jokers, jacks, queens, and kings. We don't need any of those. Next, you're going to divide your cards evenly, or as close as you can, between your players. And this game can have 2 to 4 players. So we're going to pretend that we're having 2 players. Then the first player is going to flip over their card, and you need to flip it away from you like this, so that if you're standing here, you're not seeing it when you flip it. And the object of this game is to be the first person to slap if it's an odd card. So this is not an odd card, so yeah, that person, nobody would slap. And then this person would go and they would flip over a card. That's not an odd card, so the next person would go. There's an odd card because the ace is a 1, so you're going to lightly slap the card. And then if you're the first one to get it, then you get to take those cards and put them on the bottom of your pile. You've won them. Then the next person would go, flip it away from them. That's not an odd card. Not an odd card. Oh, that's an odd card. So then whoever had slapped those would win them. If 2 people slap, whoever's on the bottom gets it. If you accidentally slap a card, like, oh, that would be a slap. That would be a slap. Well, let's keep going until we get an even number. If you accidentally slap an even number, then you have to give up a card to your partner. You give them one. So if either player happens to run out of cards, then that person can still slap back into the game. After 2 or 3 minutes, you want to move to a new round, and you can see that the rounds are listed here. So round 1 is just single cards, just like we've been showing. In round 2, the person who's flipping is going to flip 2 cards, and you need to think about the sum of the cards. So 4 plus 4 is 8. That is an even number, so you would not slap. So the next person would turn over 2 cards. That's 18. That's an even number. I'm not going to slap. 17, that's a sum that's odd, so I will slap, and then you get all of those cards. Round 3 is the difference of the 2 cards. So you would turn it over and do a subtraction problem. 8 minus 2 is 6, that would not be a slap. Turn it over, 7 minus 1 is 6, that's an even number. 3 minus 2 is 1, that's an odd number, that would be a slap. Round 4 is the product of the 2 cards. So when you multiply them together, 5 times 9 is 45. That would be a slap. Remember, we're moving to a new round every 2 or 3 minutes. Round 5 is the sum of 3 cards. So the person has to flip over 3 and add them together. And then the challenge round, if you get that far, is to flip over and multiply them. So you might need a piece of paper to do that step. And you can also skip the challenge round if you would like to go on to the next step. At the end, after you've gone through all of the levels, then you need to answer these questions on notebook paper. Every person in your team should answer them on their, you may discuss them, but every person in your team needs to have the answers to these on their notebook paper.